I'm the president and CEO of Second Harvest Food Bank of Greater New Orleans and Acadiana. We serve the entire southern coast of the state, 23 civil parishes. We provide 19 million meals or 25 million pounds annually, and we work through faith-based and nonprofit organizations in addition to schools. We are thrilled with our partnership with the United Way of St. Charles. With their help, we've been able to provide backpack programs to 2 elementary schools in St. Charles Parish.
I am Diana Burrell, one of the counselors at Luland Elementary School. We find that the backpack program helps our students. It levels the playing field because our students are receiving nutritious foods, very child-friendly snacks that they can eat over the weekend, and they can feel good about themselves. And hopefully it will help them to learn even more than they normally would, simply because the snacks are nutritious. Boxes of food will come in on Wednesday, and we make sure that it is given out on Thursday and Friday. So it works very well.
There are many stories about children that are not only feeding themselves, but taking these backpacks home and feeding younger siblings as well. There are stories from principals about how much better prepared these children are coming to school, more able to learn as a result of having this nutritious food over the weekend. There are stories of children that talk about how their mothers often go without meals in order to provide them meals. So by having this backpack, they're able to provide themselves meals, and that makes the whole family eat better.
To the donors, I would say thank you, thank you. We are extremely grateful for all of the services given to us and for all of the stakeholders that had anything to do with the program. We are definitely very grateful.
Hi, I'm Brian Ivan. I work at Dow Chemical as a production leader at St. Charles Operations. I am this year's United Way of St. Charles Parish campaign chair. Last year I was the employee chair for St. Charles Operations within Dow. In that role I encountered folks that had some questions about the United Way of St. Charles Parish and how things are done there. And this year I'd like to sit with John Diaz, Executive Director of the United Way, and ask him a few questions about how things are done so that we can clear up some of those questions.
Sounds good.
John, one of the first questions that a lot of people have is about the administrative cost within the United Way. Can you help answer some of those questions about the administrative costs?
Yeah, I don't blame donors. I'm a donor myself, and I think that's a valid question. Folks want to know, very simply, how much of my money is getting into the community and helping. If we talk about it on a percentage basis, if we get real specific, our administrative costs are about 8.9%. Now we say 9% just to round those figures. So what does that mean? It means 91% of a dollar that you donate goes right back into serving St. Charles Parish. That's our service focus.
That's actually very good. So I'm a donor as well. With that kind of money going out to these agencies, I'd like to know a little bit more about how you select the agencies. Can you tell us a little bit about that, John?
You bet. Yeah, it's an excellent question, and it's one of the mechanics of that process is something that I was particularly interested in when I started with United Way a few years ago. It's a very detailed and comprehensive process. We tried to include a flow chart which explains that in our campaign brochure, so if you have one of those, you can get a look at it. And we post all the information on those agencies on our website. So the abbreviated version is once a year agencies apply for funding. It's about a 3-month process that involves our volunteers reviewing them. We have a local bank that provides fiscal analysis to their financials and makes comments. We meet with the agency. And lastly, when we award funding to an agency, they don't get all their funding at once. It's spread out over the course of the year, and we actually ask them for progress reports. Our goal is to protect donor dollars, like we've talked about. You're a donor, I'm a donor, I know the folks out there are donors, and our job is to protect their intentions and their wishes and make sure those dollars are used effectively to help residents in our community.
Very good.
So let me ask you, if you had one thing to communicate to a donor out there, I mean, you're a volunteer, you don't work for United Way, you're away from your job right now, you're spending your time, what one thing would you like to tell them or ask them?
I think it's very simple. I would ask you to contribute. You know, at the end of the day, any small amount can help. You know, a lot of folks choose to look the other way and say, I don't need to help at this point. Somebody else's job to go do that. Somebody needs to do something. Somebody needs to do that. And somebody can be you. You know, again, any amount can help. Please donate.